Your GPS by this too.
iPhones.
By this. What is an iPhone? What is the symbolism of an iPhone?
All we get my
bitten off
shit
apple.
kept saying, searching for GPS, like GPS searching right now. Like it kept telling me that, and I was like, damn. Like,
exactly. They know where you are all the time. And people be checking in, like, I'm here with this person, and we're eating this. I'm like, all right, well.
Forbidden fruit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. The freaking apple, the bitten off apple. Where else do you see that in history? It's the bitten off fruit from the freaking fall of man. Since technology started, that was the beginning of the second fall of man. Because now we're so consumed in this, we don't know how to do this. And so, you know that there's a study that statistically, people would rather have internet friends than real friends, like followers. They'd rather have followers and all that kind of crap than actual real friends.
That's crazy.
That is true.
Yeah, that's more important to them. So now we live where we don't communicate, we don't interact. We're becoming numb, like robots, money-stricken, selfish, loveless,
worker bees,
conditioned, brainwashed. We are all those things. You know what I mean? And for a reason. And once you start to step outside of the bubble that they've created for you to live in, once you step outside of it, you're able to see it all. It's crazy.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Did you get that?
You did?
Ever since the first time you talked to me, ever since the first time you came here and talked to me, like I've just been noticing like what's been going on. It's crazy.
See? That's what I'm talking about. When you're introduced into the language, you become fluent in it. So you see it everywhere. But if you don't speak the language, then you're like, I don't see it. You know what I mean?
Not worried about it.
Yeah, but ignorance is bliss in a way, because sometimes I know I get overwhelmed by it. I know you get overwhelmed by it because you see it in everything. I can't go to the movies and watch it and for face value anymore.
People can't
because I
watch
see it and so much symbolism embedded into everything. You're just like, oh, that's part of the agenda. Oh, that's part of the agenda.
It's crazy. People can't watch movies with me because I bring it up so much.
Yeah,
for real, and I can't even kick it with certain people
you're
sometimes.
Called in the know.
Just like that, like.
You're in the know. You know what I'm saying?
things.
There's a group of people, it's a minority, they're called the awakened because they're able to see it now. Because before, they made it so where you couldn't see it. You know what I mean? But now that they're exposing themselves and the symbolism is so embedded into everything, they're kind of wanting it to be a trending topic. Why? Why is it now? Because before, listen, if they've been able to keep a secret since the beginning of time. So the fact of the matter is that they want to be known right now. That scares me. Because why were you wanting to be such a secret back then and now you don't care if people know? You're just putting it out there. All the symbolism, all that, so people can start talking about it. It's because now they're getting prepared to launch their next phase. We've gotten to a certain point and we have so many world disasters that could happen. I can name them to you.
We're too vulnerable.
And we're almost there. And so it's time for people to know. It's time for people to know. It's time for people to know.
Don't let the government trick
Don't
you
let the
into
government...
It sucks. It sucks. God dang, it sucks.
It sucks. It really does.
But if you listen, like that part of the story sucks. But if you listen to the other half of the story, I mean, it gets better.
You don't make any medicine. You don't produce anything. All you do is like your job or whatever you do. And like when shit happens like that, you can't fucking survive on your own. Really. Most people, the majority of the population is going to die out right there when they're starved to death. Like, it's going to be bad. Like, people are going to be fighting over fucking, like, last cans of green beans and
yes.
shit like that. Like,
I loved what Denzel Washington said in freaking, what's it called? The Book of Eli. The Book of Eli. You know what he said was my favorite?
Very, like, symbolic movie.
It is.
Like, what's going to happen? Like, the big flash. And the big flash is what's going to happen now scientifically is the solar flares.
Yes.
What's going on around,
yes.
Like,
yes.
In space. Like, the solar flares are going to come out and hit us. You think that was a power like outage thing? That was a little test. That was a test. They're seeing how many people have to like go like without electricity.
They're trying to set up the
how much energy they can like save for themselves, while they can survive without us when they kill us all. So like our biggest problem right now, we gotta fucking be able to live on our own. Like we can't,
survivalists.
you know, we can't depend on anyone else. We can't depend on Taco Bell and shit like that. We gotta be able to make food outside.
Right.
You know,
start fires and
you gotta do shit like that. People are like, oh, that's so old, like that's so antique, like.
You're right.
Know how to do it. Like,
have you seen the new show?
About? You gotta know how to do it.
Revolution.
Oh yeah,
Nigga,
yeah.
like God doesn't say like you're gonna have a fucking Xbox and that shit like tomorrow and the next day. Like you gotta be able to fucking survive on your own.
You close this? I'm cold as fuck. Right here.
Why that new show Revolution? It talks about exactly this. Their lights go out. Now listen, the show is horrible. Like the best part of that show is the trailer. Like seriously, right? It's because the trailer is the thing that's supposed to give you the message.
Yeah.
And what the message is, check this out. Have you seen the trailer for Revolution?
Actually, no. I haven't.
Okay, this is the premise of
I heard
it.
the movie though. Like,
It's a TV show. So what happens is all the lights go out, right? In the world, all the lights go out, and then people have to live without energy.
Fun.
Like that's the premise of the movie, and the show is horrible, but the trailer is. It's a message, like strategic, like right now.
I heard about that. They're making fun of it. They're like, there's nothing about this show. It's just telling you what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
I'm hearing about it. I'm like,
It's
why would I want to watch it?
the dumbest show.
Then? Like I'm hearing about it.
The dopest thing about that show is its trailer, for real. But it's a definite message.
Right now, we gotta be able to. I mean, we can't stock any food, but the way we have to live on, like you know what I'm saying? Like they give us a minimum amount of money to be able to survive, but not able to stock up for yourself. You know, for later on years. Oh, you want to have food for 2 years from now? You know, you can't do that because you can't afford it. So
yeah,
that's why our economy is based off of. You know, like they want to give us enough so we can have
for tomorrow,
you know,
like for right now, but not for tomorrow.
The rest of the month,
for 76
but not
hours
for the next year. You know what I'm saying? That's for them to be set up for that. You know, like the higher power. We can't have that for ourselves. So
absolutely.
we gotta be able to learn natural things outside. We gotta hunt. We gotta.
And that's why they've been stripping the earth of all of its natural resources.
We gotta be able to sleep.
I got my little fire before stole
like on the floor by a bush or something. You gotta be doing that every single day now, like because the way it's going, like people are gonna start killing each other in the city. That's the biggest thing. Like if something ever happens like that, people are gonna there's gonna be casualties. I'm not gonna say death, just say casualties. There's gonna be plenty of them, and there's not enough help from the ambulances and stuff like that to help everyone, so you got to do everything on your own.
But they're gonna be worrying about their own.
So right now would be the best plan. Like we're all talking about it right now. Would be the best plan to say, hey, when that happens, we got to be able to have a group set up. You know, like we're gonna come together already. So when we come together, we can try to find ways to survive. You know. Like in a group, so this would be a perfect time to start like a movement. Maybe I don't know if you guys want to say that. So, but it's gonna happen soon. So.
It is.
Like the faster it's gonna help us to,
become survivalists, and that's why we also have it's all in the media. That's why we have shows like Preppers, Doomsday Preppers. That's why all of these shows are messages. That's why we have Survival Man. You feel me? Like they're trying to everything that they're putting out. They have this new show called what is it called? Superstorm Apocalypse. And they're talking about all the storms that are happening, especially this East Coast one. And they're talking about how it lines up with the apocalypse. They have these as shows on the History Channel. Like, if you don't think that that's a message, then everything else that they give you is a message as well. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you consume, whether it be physically or figuratively, everything you consume is either putting a disease in you or a cure. And so that's why with awareness, that starts the cure. You know what I'm saying? With people starting to know and people starting to see and people starting to realize like, oh my gosh. Because people out there still think we live in a righteous government. I'm like, what? Do you not understand what they're doing behind your back, like people hate Americans. You know why? Because we're spreading our Western mindset all over the world, and all of the traditional countries, they hate that. They hate us. They don't like to do business with us because we're schemers. You feel me?
We like to control whatever we
absolutely
wish to have, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Even with oil crisis right now, like we're talking about going over Iraq or just over the Middle East and trying to find some type of oil or some type of new refinery place, but
check
like
this out.
and like investing in stuff like that. And then on top of that, we'll throw in the actual army and government. Well, on top of that, they try to feed you in this media of Coney, like some bad guy from another country willing to take away people and like do wrong things to them, and we're gonna set out a mission with our army, or Barack Obama's sending troops to go find him. Like,
that's a bunch of
it was
crap.
like it turned out to be all like
lies.
So what do you
9/11
believe in now? What do you believe in now when you say the government did that to you right now? Like they told you that shit.
Yes, the Iraqi war is a profiteer war, and I'm gonna tell you like some crazy stuff. Listen,
it was all to go find
and Iran
oil.
have oil. They have the biggest oil refiners in the world, okay? They're tapping out all of our natural resources, whether it be oil and gold. Notice that people are now trading in their gold, like high price for gold. You know why? Gold produces an energy current. Like it's one of the only like metals in the earth that it can produce an energy current. So when all of this energy goes out on here, they're gonna be good underground. Like they're building. They've been building. You feel me?
Fort Knox, like all our